Yo, I'm going to talk for a bit about some discoveries I've made while selecting models for my last couple of armies. Now, my Vampire Counts army. I played a lot of games on Universal Battle. If you don't know what that is, it's like Warhammer Simulation on the internet browser. So, I sorted out a few army lists that I could potentially use before I even purchased any models. So I had in mind exactly what I wanted for those particular armies. And then, for the most part, I went out and bought those things. There were a few occasions where I saw a really cool looking model, like, for example, that, which hopefully came up on the screen just then, which I'm going to be using as a Vargulf. And in most of the lists I came up with, I was actually using a Terrorgeist. But once I saw that model, I thought, okay, that's cool. I need to fit that into my army somehow. So I reworked it a bit, and I realised I could fit in a Terrorgeist, a Vargulf, and a Mortis Engine into a 2,500 point list. But that would be really pushing it a bit, and most of my games may not be that high anyway. So, Terrorgeist out, Vargulf in, because that model's incredibly cool. Now, when I started my Dark Angels army, I have no idea any of the 40k rules at the moment. I've missed the last 2 editions, so I have no idea what's good. I haven't even looked at the codex yet. And when picking what to put in this army, I found it very refreshing, just being able to look through all the models and see, okay, that looks cool, I want that, that looks cool, I want that, without worrying about what's actually going to be effective on the table. Because the most important thing, you need to care about the models that you're buying. You need to be able to take pride in what they look like. So, for example, when I saw the Deathwing Knights, I thought, okay, there's just about the coolest things in the entire range, so I need to have some of those. Didn't bother looking at their stats. And then I started watching some Beasts of War videos. This is nothing against Beasts of War, particularly, by the way. But when I was watching their review of the codex and assessing all the different units, they were quite negative regarding the Deathwing Knights and their tickle sticks, as they referred to them. Their maces of some kind. Something in the back of my mind saying, maybe I should follow along with what all these guys are saying and just go with what's supposed to be good and then learn to love it. But that's not really a way to approach the hobby. That's not my way, at least. So I've ordered some Deathwing Knights, and if they're terrible in the game, who cares? It's going to be fun. There is a level of innocence involved with coming at a game with no real knowledge of the rules and just picking almost an entire army just based on the models alone. Knowing the force organisation chart and whatnot does help though, because obviously you need a legal army, but within those limited constraints I would always just pick which models I like best. That's what I've done with my Vampire Counts. I did have an army in mind that I wanted, but that was loosely based around the fact that I love skeleton models. So I formulated an army that would be effective with a lot of skeletons in it. For the most part, this is how I've always done things. Back to my dwarves, when I started to collect those 10, 11, 12 years ago or so, the one set of models that I liked the most were the Ironbreakers. And they were pretty good at the time. They seem to have dwindled a bit power-wise right now, but they're still some of my favourite models, so I'd always use them. I'd probably put them into any army, no matter what level of competition I was playing, whether it was just a very casual game or even if I were to enter a tournament, I'd probably take Ironbreakers. They just seem to represent everything that I like about dwarves. It's like almost like a stubbornness, but without the stubborn rule, which ironically enough is on the Hammerers, which is a unit I do not like. But that's just a name for the rule, really. That doesn't really reflect their personality. The Hammerers are really more of killing machines. Single pose killing machines, that is. And I'll give you, there isn't that much variety in the poses of the Ironbreakers, but they do look incredibly cool still. I don't normally talk for this long, or at least I'll have some kind of script. This time I just felt like sitting down and talking. I'm sure I'll edit out a couple of pauses. Just looking at myself on camera there, the way this hat's sitting on my head and with this jacket, I kind of maybe if I went like this, slightly resemble the guy from Scottish tabletop gaming or something like that. think he has a slightly weaker jawline than me there, so I win, I'd say. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say today, so toodaloo.